That's what you mean. People do it there. We're excited about it. All right, Steve, how are you this morning? Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll call this regular meeting of the Hill County Commissioners Court to order. This 27th day of December 2022. Let the record reflect that this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Government Code 551, better known as the Texas Open Meetings Act, and the quorum of commissioners is presently established. Commissioner Montgomery is not with us this morning. At this time, is there anybody here from the Hillsborough Ministerial Alliance? If not, could I ask you to give us an invitation this morning? Appreciate it.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for each of the lives that are represented here today. We ask that you bless this commissioner's court, give them wisdom and the strength to carry out the county's business. We ask for forgiveness of our sins. We give you all the praise and glory for the blessing that you go on with us. We pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. You follow me to pledge the American and Texas flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic and one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag, one state under God, one and indivisible. All right, thank you all for being with us this morning. Well, I hate to see the Commissioner Montgomery didn't make it. So I was gonna razz him pretty good, seeing this is the last court meeting. But we'll start with precinct 2. What's going on in precinct 2?
Well, it's other than a little bit of wind we had over the weekend, Christmas Eve, had to get a couple of guys out to go put some trees out. And they said the sheriff department said that's completely blocked, but I never heard anything else, so I guess they got it opened up. The Christmas lunch last week, I think went okay.
Oh, thank you so much for all your efforts.
Didn't hear any complaints. If there is, somebody else can do
You did a wonderful job.
it. Well, yeah, I better thank the decorators.
Yeah, Miss Pam did great. She did a wonderful job.
But she's already making plans for next year.
Oh, good.
She's at her.
I'm happy to let her do that too.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, good deal. All right, Commissioner Hawkins, what's happening down in precinct 3?
Oh, cold weather and what little rain we had prior to that, sure got our roads packed hard and rough, and we're out trying to blade this morning on frozen ground. It's just,
Tough.
it's tough.
That's a tough thing to do, no doubt. Good deal.
We'll get through it somehow there.
Wonderful. Commissioner Lake, what's going on in precinct 4 this morning?
Really not much meat. Everybody's off this week, so we're just taking it easy. I did head up yesterday, and in the last 4 years, we put in 175 culverts.
Oh, wow.
$318,000 for it,
Wow.
so that's.
Good
where
deal.
everybody's-
Culverts, a lot of culverts for sure. Tom, what's going on in the world of emergency management?
Good, rather slow, we didn't have a lot going on, even though the bad weather came through it. And we've been. With most of our, we're trying to finish up the communication stuff, so.
Good deal.
We met with Eddie Royal numerous times over the holiday, working on trying to get some resolution. But other than that, it's not a lot going on.
Good deal. Good deal. Miss Rachel, what's happening? Oh, there's Rhonda. I didn't see Rhonda move in on us. Hey, what's happening in the treasurer's office?
Same stuff, different days.
Same stuff.
Last week of
Last week on the job. There you go. Steve, how are things in the auditor's office?
I'm doing well, Judge. Some early new list, and moves spending quite on points so far.
Okay, so you're
Good.
absorbing a lot, I guess, like,
Yes, absolutely. Susan has been a great help.
yeah, she's good about that. She's been good to us over the years. So April, anything going on in Engine Healthcare? Out of curiosity, not to put you on the spot, but pauper burial, have we seen a trend down lately in the number of pauper burials we're seeing?
It seems to, I can definitely report what to read.
Okay, that's just something we're paying a lot of attention to. I know you've done a lot of good on trying to straighten that system out, so appreciate it. What's happened with the ESD one this morning?
Oh, we're out there,
We've heard tell of this.
had a few grass cars, we got a few rollovers and little accidents this morning, and they're hanging up, but other than that, that's all for what we do.
You want to introduce this fellow you brought with you?
Yes, I brought my bodyguard.
Things are getting rough at the ESD. Chris, you want to tell us what you got going? Yeah. We read about it in the paper, but it's nice to hear anything.
Yeah, at the end of the game, it's a technical coordinator for the ESD, Chris Lister, been with, fire service in Hill County for 23 years.
Okay, good deal, good deal. All right, lovely, lovely. Anything with the constables this morning?
They didn't slow down.
No, I imagine not. I imagine not. I want to thank that everybody, it may probably no secret at this point, I had spent a couple of days in the hospital last week. I thank everybody that called and checked with me. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for your caring and your kind words. We had a good Christmas, on things happening around here. They're finally laying rebar out at the fairgrounds. They were supposed to have laid that and poured that concrete last week, but it's not reasonable to ask anybody to pour concrete when it's 8 degrees. So that did not happen, but they are out putting the forms are up, rebar is going down. We expect they'll pour possibly towards the end of this week. And get that first pour. Then the second pour will happen around the first week of January. So the inside of that building is mostly finished, not completely, but mostly finished. So it's coming along finally what we needed to do. Otherwise, I had a 7:20 meeting this morning with maintenance. We are aware of no broken pipes. Knock on hardwood. All the preparation we did, it was not for naught. I know the things that you guys put in place for warming shelters, things that we had there. I'm glad we did all that work. I'm glad, even gladder we didn't have to use a bit of it. So thanks for doing what you do for the county. I think I want to thank Ignacio Vasquez with Encore. This is the most responsive Encore's ever been. They have started working with us about 2 weeks before, asking questions about our needs, where we're going to have priorities. Just a lot of good things to say about those guys. So again, I was going to take this moment to kind of razz Andy. Andy's been with us going on 6 years today. He's been fun to work with. We've enjoyed his presence on this commissioner's court. We're going to miss him. Just to let you guys know where we're at in that process, we took resumes to the close of business on Thursday. Tomorrow, I have assembled a group of folks, and we're going to do interviews. And it looks like we're going to be doing interviews all day long. I've got one more in my inbox too. I got to get to you that showed up by the close of business. So what we'll do is we'll interview those folks, that group of 5 people, then we'll make a recommendation to me. And from that recommendation, we'll appoint a commissioner. That appointment will start hopefully the first week of January. And then we will get that person down the road, help them out everywhere we can. I know they're stepping into a process where it's mid-year. So things are in fairly decent shape in that precinct, but they're still going to need a lot of help getting off the ground and getting moving. So that'll be something that we need to talk about and keep an eye on and help out with. Otherwise, there was something else. I'm having a little memory fade here at the moment. There was something else to do. What's that?
Irwin building.
Yes, we're closing on this week.
Really?
Yes, sir. I don't have the date exactly, but everybody's on board to close this week. So
Can we all stand out front and cry?
you're welcome to. We're still renting back for 6 months though, so you got a little time. This breakup is going to take a little longer than I wanted to, but again, it seems like serendipitous how it worked out that we're going to have 6 months starting January 1 versus where we would have been. Lucio's done a great job of cleaning that building out. We still have some stuff over there, but it's slowly whittled down to almost nothing.
Plenty of wood in this room for y'all to knock on, by the way. It'll be some.
Yeah. It's like law enforcement going, oh, looks like it's gonna be a slow night tonight. And nobody does that. Nobody does that. That was good coffee. All right. Well, is there anything else for presentations or announcements this morning before we go into open forum? Any elected official, appointed official? Oh, one last thing. The ceremonial swearing in is going to take place at 8:15, as I am told, because I'm not the one that plans this, at 8:15 in a district courtroom on January the 3rd. That'll be the first day we're back from the holidays. That's next Tuesday, correct? Everybody, that sounds right-ish. Okay, so that morning, I'm going to come up here Sunday afternoon and do the official swearing in for Rachel, and I think maybe Miss Skilling as well. I think the JP, because those duties are such that everybody carries over an office under law, but there's some duties that we need to take care of. So we'll be doing that. I hope to see you all at the ceremonial swearing in. If you hadn't been sworn in yet, if you didn't have an opponent, doesn't matter. Still got to go be sworn at. So we'll get everybody in the room and get that taken care of on the 3rd of January at 8:15 in the district courtroom on the 2nd floor of the county courthouse. All right, well, I've talked about as long as I want to. So at this time, is there anybody here this morning for public forum? Anybody that wants to speak to the court about something that's not on our agenda? If you would, limit your comments to about 3 to 5 minutes in duration, and as we respect you, please show respect to the court. Going once, going twice. I didn't think that was called. Anybody sign up by 8 a.m. this morning to speak online? Nobody did. All right, we're going to move along in this agenda then. Put my eyeballs back on, and let's move on to consent agenda this morning. We have action on minutes, action on invoices, action on payroll, monthly report for revenue and disbursement. You received an email from the treasurer's office last week, Thursday, that contained the invoices, payroll, and if there's any questions on any of this, please let me know. I'll pull it apart for discussion. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to
Make a
approve.
motion for it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or otherwise objections? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously and the employees are paid. Right. Number 1 on court orders today, discuss and approve employee wage changes. So today's employee wage change sheets, let's go through these. We've got Mr. Robert Young at the sheriff's office, and he's promotion to patrol corporal. Good job, Mr. Young. Carlos Carrillo with the sheriff's office, and he is also promotion to patrol corporal. Good job, Mr. Carrillo. Vernon Busby is promotion to patrol corporal. It's a good deal. I like Mr. Busby. He's pretty pleasant to work with. Mr. Billy Olson is moving on to greener pastures out of the jail. Mr. Justin Light, added SWAT specialized skills. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say this every time, but you know, I appreciate the commissioners a couple of years ago putting those specialized skills pays in the sheriff's office. It encourages these young folks to get some more education than we would normally, and it provides a lot of opportunities for us. Thank you again for doing that. Chantel Roberts has come aboard as a new jailer. Welcome aboard, Miss Roberts. Amanda Larson as a new hire in dispatch. Welcome aboard, Miss Larson. Miss Larson apparently didn't last that long because here's her termination. So, all right. Wow, that's one day. Cool. I didn't expect to see that. I usually read this whole thing ahead of time. I didn't over the week because you know what happened last week to me. So this is as much a surprise to me as it is to you. I got to see the bills because they were in the email, but the rest of this I didn't give my chance on. Garrison Berg is moved on to greener pastures. Best of luck to him out of the jail. Miss Shannon Skilling is elected to JP. So she'll go from being the JP clerk to the JP. Mr. Mickey Winkle is in for a 3-year step raise. At the sheriff's office, Ty West has 1-year step raise. Mr. Brad Henley, his last day will be with us on the 31st. Judge Henley has been a joy to work with over the years. These last 12 years, I guess, made budget time actually entertaining a few times, funny. And I know he had some sage advice for us. I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. He told me now that he's grown up, he's going to figure out what he's going to do. So he said 83 is about time man needs to make a decision on what he's going to do with his life. So anyway, new hire in dispatch, Clara Armstrong, welcome aboard. Ms. Caitlin Williams is going to transfer from dispatch back to the jail in the sheriff's office. Hunter Eaton is now the acting supervisor. That's good. We have Rachel Parker, who's now going to be our county treasurer, who's been in the auditor's office and now in the treasurer's office. End of January 1 becomes treasurer. Then we have Miss Rhonda Burkhart. Rhonda, I don't know what to say other than we're going to miss you. But I hope you enjoy your retirement. I hope it's fruitful for you. You get to spend plenty of time with grandkids. So good deal.
I brought one of my grandkids today.
I saw that. You need to introduce him.
Jacob, that's my son.
We met him.
The little one, the little short one back there is my grandson.
There you go. How do you do? No, he said it. Yeah. Gary Ward, precinct 1, has retired again. This is the second time Gary's retired from us. So best of luck with that. Charles Brooks from precinct 1 is retired, and those ladies and gentlemen are the approval of employee wage status changes for this date.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the aforementioned wage status changes. Any discussion? Any corrections? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Number 2, discussion and action on striping at the parking lot of precinct number 1 building. John, you want to make a presentation on this, please? Thank you. John's kind of my de facto go-to on that building out there. John's been a great help at the Huron facility. And one of the things we noticed that John pointed out was during elections that there's some traffic flow issues out there, and we're hoping maybe some striping might correct that. Go ahead, Constable.
We put out a bid and accepted 3 bids to have the parking lot striped as well as ADA handicap parking zones identified and marks accordingly. Hash marks around the mailbox area, the new mailbox that we've got, directional arrows in and out of the parking area. Paint the wheel stops and permanently install the wheel stops. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. We've got the concrete curbs that prevent cars from driving into the building. That they are out there, but they have not yet been anchored. So these bids reflect anchoring those as well. And last of all, there will be surface mounted bollards in the area of the mailbox to prevent people from running over. In the event, there were 3 responses to bid. 2 of them by official letter and the other one by text message. The first bid was $6,207 submitted by 4R Services Unlimited out of Aquila. And the second one was from a local paint contractor, Ken Wilson, out of Whitney area. Was $2,400. That did not include part of the peripheral work, the parking bollards and the mailbox protector. Did not include that. But again, his bid was $2,400. The last one is from a company out of Waco called Simplify Striping. Their veterans business. The quote includes 30 parking lot spaces, the 88 blocks stenciling, 88 aisles, traffic aisles with stripes. The hex somewhere in the mailbox, directional arrows in and out, painted wheel stops, 12 wheel stop installations, which securing those stop. 2 $5.5 inch at the mailbox, and the total of that bid is $1,773.
1,700, 17,000.
1,700.
Oh, wow.
It's the last bid that I'm mentioning is the most guys do all of the requirements, and also the cheapest price.
Okay. Gentlemen, you know, we're not required to bid anything under $50,000, but I asked John to get at least 3 bids on this for transparency. I think it's the best policy, as our attorney would tell us, for the taxpayer. John, thank you for your work on this. I know it's outside your wheelhouse of what you normally do, but I do appreciate it. And the name was Simplify Striping.
Yes, sir.
And so Simplify Striping is a low bid on that, and John recommends it to me. So I'll recommend it to the court.
Need a motion?
Yes, sir, I believe we do. Okay.
Second.
All right, motion is second to use Simplify Striping for the amount of $1,773 to stripe the parking lot at the Huron facility. Any further discussion?
I'll just a copy of that.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get a copy of that for the record. All right.
I'll follow up.
Okay, good deal. And there's some contractual language or something, have him send that too, and we'll get that. All right, anything further? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Ayes have it, the noes know it. Moving on to bonds today, we have quite a few. So we have number one, Mr. Saib Rowe, who's with us today, our new county auditor, his bond. Mrs. Jamie Miller, who with the CSCD, 66 Judicial District. A bond for Mr. Terry McElrath with Hill County Juvenile Probation. We have a bond for Ms. Rachel Parker for Hill County Treasurer, which we can go ahead and approve that bond. And those are the bonds that we have before us today.
Make a motion to approve bonds.
Motion is second to approve the aforementioned bonds. Is there any further discussion? If not, any snide comments? None of those? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number four, discussion action on applying for the federal, local, and tribal grant. Oh, my goodness, this is more Joe Biden money. So you guys remember that we got the CLFR, the county, local, federal funds grant, whatever we call it, in two tranches. This is the next round of that grant. This is coming to counties that had either federal property or tribal lands on them. And we already know the amount of this grant. By saying we know the amount, it's $250,000. All I got to do is do the paperwork, fill it out, and they're telling me it comes in. There's no allocation limitations. We can spend it on whatever we need to. The understanding of this particular grant was it's to reimburse us for lost income during the COVID crisis. So we're going to pay for it one way or the other. Hell, my grandkids are going to pay for this one way or the other. My take is we take the money because we have uses for it here. We can make at least put this to work locally. So that's my 10 cents this morning. I'm just asking for the permission to apply for this grant.
Motion to apply.
Motion is second to allow the county judge to apply for the federal local tribal grant. Any questions about this one? No, if not, all right. In which case, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Number five, is urban report and order appointing Saib Rowe as county auditor. We have an order of the 66th Judicial District, whereas 84.004 Local Government Code, State of Texas, sets the term of the county auditor for 2 years, whereas the effective date, 28th day of November 2022, came on to be considered by the judge of the 66th Judicial District Court the matter of the appointment of the county auditor of Hill County, Texas. And it appears that Saib Rowe is an applicant for appointment as county auditor of Hill County, Texas. Whereas after due consideration is the opinion of this court that Saib Rowe is a fit and proper and qualified person capable of fulfilling the duties of the office of county auditor of Hill County, Texas. It is therefore the order and the judgment of this court that said Saib Rowe be and is hereby appointed county auditor of Hill County, Texas, effective November 28, 2022, to serve in such capacity unless removed by a subsequent order of the court until December 31st, 2022. Until his replacement successor in office is duly appointed and qualified in accordance with all relevant statutes, ordinances regarding same in the state of Texas. It is further ordered the district court is to record this order and spread the same in the minutes of the court, and the same be certified by the Commissioners Court of Hill County and spread upon its minutes, signed under his hand the 28th day of November 2022. I read that to you so you're not confused in January when we get another one of these. He's taking up a small unexpired term that Susan had into her. Susan will be staying with us through January at this point. So where we're at is I ask you gentlemen to please give me a motion to observe and record, and I'll make the motion to do so.
Second.
Motion is second to observe and record an order of the 66th Judicial District appointing Saib Rowe as a Hill County auditor. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry. Number 6, discuss an action on changing the bank account for Justice of Peace Precinct 3 to Citizens Bank in Hubbard. Again, there's a new, as of January 1, there will be a new JP down there. We need to change the bank account who has signature authority on those accounts. And so I'm asking that you allow us the authority to change the bank account for the Justice of Peace 3 to Citizens Bank in Hubbard, Texas.
Make a motion.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Any discussion or put from the auditor's office on this? Treasurer's office? Okay. Yes, ma'am. You know, that's a really good point. That's a question I had about that. I don't mind. We can approve the bonds ahead of time. We've got the authority to do that. But I'm worried about this. And I know we've only got a couple of days left in this month, but Murphy's Law says it is bad, it will happen. So I would like to postpone this until that first meeting in January. Okay, okay, and the auditors. Okay, good. So let's take no action on this today, if you gentlemen would, please. Okay, thank you. Well, there's no action on number 6. We'll bring that back up to our next regular meeting, first meeting in January, deal with that. Discussion and action on request for proposals for inmate medical service. So we went out for request for proposal. We got a whopping 3 back. Only 2 of them are responsive to actual request. The third one's for a pharmaceutical actuary. Ms. Cook, what have you found to date? We ready to take action or no?
No.
I didn't think we would be.
At first, glance, it looks like they're very similar, but when you actually get to the details of it, they're vastly different in the staffing matrix alone. So there's a big difference. We need to go through a little closer and get with April over at the and see exactly what she wants specifically.
Okay, good deal. I'd rather take my time and do this right the first time. We're talking about, between 399,000 and 450,000. It's a lot of money. So yeah, we'll take action at the first court in January. We'll put that on take then. So we'll be fine. We're running a month-to-month contract right now with the current provider, and that doesn't seem to be an issue. So I'd rather go back and negotiate with these people to understand exactly what's being done here. So, thank you, ma'am. All right, so we'll table that until next time. Number 8, and Susan, we tabled the action on the bank account for justice of the peace number 1 till after the first of the year. And just figuring that if Murphy's Law is going to bite us, if something could happen, we change the authority today that tomorrow he'll.
That's for a new account.
Yeah. So,
That was to open a new account for Justice of the Peace 3. They don't currently have one.
yeah, and let's just wait till January to do that. We'll do. All right, number 9, discussion or action on certification of revenues. Gentlemen, you have before you in the packet the certification of revenues. Precinct 2, precinct 3, precinct 4, public assistance, non-departmental. What you're saying is, I think budget amendments, what I got in front of me. Is there a certification of revenue? I got. Okay, thank you.
Are we not gonna do 8?
Oh, did I jump that? I did jump that. My bad. Discuss and or take action on new signatures for Hill County accounts effective 1/1/23. So because the effective date will be 1/1/23, I'm fine with that. What's the new action we need to take on those signatures? Just allowing those parties as of 1/1/23 to go ahead and.
I just did a replacement if you. This morning, if you
that's
think
okay.
that's appropriate, I just had him replace Rhonda with Rachel and me with Saib.
Okay,
And just make that effective January 1st so that they'll have time to fix the paperwork. and so
Okay.
forth.
I have no problem with that, but now that you brought that up, and that makes me go back to the discussion we just had on number 6, can we make starting that bank account effective January 1st too? Take care of it today instead of waiting?
Yes, I think that would be best because it's going to take a little time for them to set up the account and we'd rather have the first credit card, we'd rather have the first deposit go into the account than 2 different accounts. If we
Okay,
don't have the account set up, it's going to have to go into
okay.
the old and the new.
So just make it effective as of January 1/23. Okay, so let's take care of the business at hand, which is number 8. Discuss and or take action on new signatures for Hill County accounts effective 1/1/23. And that would be designate signatures for all accounts at Citizen State Bank effective January 1st, 2023 to replace Rhonda Burkhart with Rachel Parker as treasurer, and replace Susan Swilling with Saheed Rowe as county auditor. We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? If not, call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion is going to carry. And there is 2 copies of this form.
3 different orders.
Oh, 3 different orders. Forgive me.
One is for Citizens
I think one's for text pool and one's for Wells Fargo. Got it. All right. Does your motion still stand?
Yes.
Does your second still stand? A motion and a second to change designated signatures for all accounts at Citizen State Bank, all accounts at Wells Fargo Bank, and all accounts at text pool effective January 1, 2023. To replace Rhonda Burkhart, Rachel Parker as the new county treasurer, and replace Susan Swilling with Saheed Rowe as new county auditor. Okay. Anything further? I just needed to clarify that in the record. All right. If not, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Now let's go back to number 6, and I will make the motion to change the bank account for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 to Citizens Bank in Hubbard, Texas, effective January 1st, 2023. Here we got an order on that already. That is impressive. All right, motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Okay. Number 9, we don't have certification of revenues. Number 10, we have discussion and action on budget amendments. Budget amendments today were for precinct 2, precinct 3, precinct 4, public assistance and non-departmental. For precinct 2, construction, fuel, we are going to add $3,100 to that line item. Precinct 2, construction repairs, we're going to add $503 to that line item. Fuel for construction 3, we're going to add $5,918 to that line. Repair, I'm sorry, constable, is that what that says?
Yes.
I'm having some difficulties here this morning, clearly.
But you can go ahead and put that in.
That's all constables, okay, yeah, all right, well, constables, well, we knew, all right, that makes more sense. It's like, how do you only need $3,100 for fuel? So this, again, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Budget time was that we were going to have issues with the previous year's budget because of the price of fuel skyrocketed. So constable precinct 2, we had $3,100 to fuel. Repairs constable 2, they're $503. And that's because the truck he's got's a lemon. It's not Justin's fault on that one. That truck has been in and out of the stinking shop more times than it's been on the road, it seems. Constable 3, we're adding $5,918 to fuel. Remember, Constable 3 has multiple people in it that's on that fuel line. Repairs to Constable 3, $665, we're adding to it. Autopsy and transport, we're adding $3,830 to it. Then we have capital lease construction. We're going to subtract from Constable 4, capital lease, not construction, Constable 4. We're going to subtract $10,000. And then we're going to subtract $4,016 from contingency to fund the aforementioned budget amendments.
Make motion approved.
Motion and a second to approve. Is there any discussion on these budget amendments? Again, none of these are surprises out of last year's budget. All these we knew that when we budgeted in the springtime and early summer of 2021 that we were going to have this issue as soon as prices rose. So I appreciate you guys going along with this. Anyway. All right, anything further? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Motion carries.
Make a motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn. Come on up, young.
Oh, hot rod.
We have motion and a second to adjourn, ladies and gentlemen. We are adjourned. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. We'll see you guys shortly, I'm sure.